Well, let's bring in Simon Adams from the Global Centre for the Responsibility to Protect, which advocates for international action. Thanks for joining us. I wonder what international action you're advocating for in this situation.
Yeah, no, look, thank you for having me today. And I was listening to those comments there, especially the comments of China. And I think, I'd first of all make the point that you can't build peace and stability in Myanmar on the bones of the Rohingya or over the bodies of protesters in the country. So I think it is time for a different approach. It's time for governments around the world to show a little bit of intestinal fortitude and actually hold the generals accountable for what they've done. And I think the announcement today by the EU that it's withdrawing its development aid from Myanmar is a very positive step. We've seen some countries, the UK, Canada, the United States, impose targeted sanctions on the military. New Zealand has cut ties. Norway has said it's not going to provide any more development aid, but that's just a start. We need
Simon,
much more.
And why do you think that will work? Because arguably that will hurt the people of Myanmar, not the military leaders who already have plenty of money of their own.
Well, keeping in mind that Myanmar's military runs as a kind of industrial complex as well as everything else that it does. It's not just an instrument for committing atrocities, it's also an industrial complex. They get, for example, about $900 million a year from the energy industry, which goes to Myanmar's government, which means it will now go into the pockets of the military. So putting pressure on them around those kinds of issues will actually hurt the generals. It will actually withdraw from them the sorts of funds and the sorts of lifestyles that they like to live.
And that's the kind of pressure you would like to see exerted. But being realistic and knowing the military as you do, presumably you don't expect it to change course in the short term.
Well, I think they respond to pressure. And I think a lot of this comes down to the Chinese. The Chinese often present themselves as wanting to be a superpower, wanting to be a global citizen. Well, they can't, they have to decide between either siding with genocidal generals, remembering that they committed a genocide against the Rohingya in 2017 and then have now led this coup, or actually standing for some international principles. So now is the time for not just the UN Security Council, but for states around the world to apply an arms embargo, those targeted sanctions, divestment, and no recognition of this regime.
Simon Adams in New York, thank you very much indeed for joining us.